Welcome back from that break. I'm being joined by Engineer Toba Owojayi, who is a public affairs analyst. He joins me live in the studio this evening. It's a pleasure to have you. Thank you for coming again.
Wow, it's been more than 2 or 3 months since I've been here. So.
Right. It's indeed a pleasure to have you. Thank you very much for coming.
So it's a pleasure to be here.
All right. I'm sure you've seen what is been going on with opposition parties and coalitions here and there. The defection of El-Rufai is a move, you know. Many people didn't see it coming anyways, but do you think Nasiru El-Rufai has any unhappy, do you think he's unhappy with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to have made that move?
He can be unhappy. He has a right to be unhappy. And also the president and whoever denied him from becoming a minister have a right to deny him. He didn't want to serve in the government, so he said. And then the president in Kaduna on stage told him, I will not go off this stage until you come on board this stage and agree to work with me. And then
who was that?
El-Rufai. And he sat for a few seconds, and then people started clapping, and then he got up and went to join the president upstage. This was pre-victory, right? So in the build-up to Tinubu taking over, he was already, from my strong sources, was already assured Ministry of Power, which is why you see that the person in the Ministry of Power is not somebody completely suited to that position. So they now agreed to move some part of gas, to put gas under power, some part of gas, only for him to get his name among the list of ministers. But his sins of the past now caught up with him. A lot of the things he did in Kaduna State, yes, El-Rufai is very good with his job. El-Rufai is excellent with projects. He's a go-getter. But in that process, he steps on many toes, and he does it with such a vindictive, sadistic tendency. So the people who don't like him, don't want somebody like him higher up in power. Because if you've seen what he's done to you as a governor, then you imagine what he will do to you as a vice president or a minister or a president. So those people joined to block him from getting that position. He traveled abroad. He came back with $100 million venture capital. We never heard of how that went. And gradually we started seeing him being disgruntled. He's dragged with his successor in Kaduna, the EFCC cases. But he understands the North. Next to Buhari has the highest goodwill in the North. But the greatest person who understands the mentality of the voters in the North is El-Rufai. So I'm telling you, all the times he was pushing.
So you're one of those who believes that he's still very relevant.
Very relevant. That's why anything he says,
how relevant?
Anything he says becomes a headline for 2 days. If you've noticed, no matter how small and no matter how far away the interview is, if he does an interview now, it will cover news for 2 days. That's because he's relevant. If it's not relevant, then why would you listen? Why do people keep discussing him? Because he understands northern politics. People are emotional in the way they behave. If you go to a Yoruba family and you want to marry their daughter, even if you come with money and you don't prostrate, they feel insulted.
Okay.
So he understands the North. He says the things the North wants to hear. And the North is largely aligning with him. Don't let anybody deceive you. The North is largely aligning with him as at today. So when he told you that he got the permission of Buhari, he got the permission of Buhari. He doesn't say what he has not gotten. He had done meetings with IBB. Nobody is willing to take the first step out. People like Atiku and others are still careful, watching. El-Rufai says, I have nothing to lose. I will stick out my head. That's the same way he stuck his head out for Tinubu when many governors in the North wanted to betray Tinubu and APC, and El-Rufai stuck his head out, and it helped Tinubu get other governors on board and then finally win. So El-Rufai is a strong factor. He understands the North. He understands Muslim politics. He understands how Muslim ticket will easily give you more victory than a Christian Muslim ticket in Nigeria. Those are the dynamics he understands. So he remains very, very valuable.
All right, viewers, at this point, we'll just open our phone lines straight away for you to call in to give your own opinion or join the conversation. But then, El-Rufai has come out to, deny that the reason why he defected from the All Progressive Congress isn't because he was not given a ministerial appointment, but because the APC lost its ideology. So what do you make out of that? Because I'm sure from your own point of view, you're saying that he left the party because he was denied of the ministerial appointment he was promised. But he has come out to, claim or say that he did not leave the party because he didn't get the appointment, but he left because the party has lost its ideology.
I have never seen ideology in any Nigerian political party.
Ideology?
Never. I've never seen ideology. I don't even know where they got the I or D from, that they have ideology.
So APC, as a party that doesn't have an ideology,
has no ideology. PDP has no ideology. NNPP has no ideology. Labour Party has no ideology. The closest to a ideology is ABGA, and that's because it's still a regional party. We cannot test that until we see them spread and have dominance across the nation. So I don't. All these defections they are doing. Okay, so is it the SDP they've gone to now that has an ideology? It is just, see, and all of this happens because of one thing: the people are gullible. That's my new catchphrase. I've been saying it for the last 1 month. The people are gullible. Once the people are gullible, and you can sell them a facade, you can sell them a storyline, and they buy that storyline hook, then you can always get them to bend to whatever you want to do.
Okay. I think we have someone here already calling. Hello, good evening. If you can hear me, good evening. If you can hear me, please go ahead with your thoughts. Your name and where you're calling us from.
I can hear you loud and clear. My name is Cheryl Bishop. I'm calling from Cross River State.
All right, please go ahead.
Yeah, I want to say that is the beauty of politics.
Okay.
When you have individuals that can take their head against the government of the day, El-Rufai is doing the needful. So all of us cannot be in one political party. The beauty of politics won't be there.
Okay.
So I want to say he's among the few people who have the capacity to take decisions and will their people into his decision. So I'm happy with El-Rufai.
All right.
Let us have much of such people.
All right. Thank you very much for your thoughts. Hello, good evening. If you can hear me, glad to have you join us on the show. Hello, good evening. Oh, you might have to call us back. Hello, good evening. I'm glad to have you join us on the program. Good evening. Could you tune down the volume of your TV set whenever you call in so we could hear you from this end? Well, some have argued that El-Rufai is only carrying out a vengeance mission because he was not given. I want to agree. I want to know if you actually agree with that. Is it trying to carry out a vengeance mission on President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, or he's really not no longer accept the party, or just like he claimed that the party have lost its ideology?
See, a politician wants to remain in power. A politician wants to remain relevant, and once a politician sees the opportunity, it's called opportunity. The economy. But if you ask many people, the economy is not doing very well, right? If you ask many people, if you ask 100% of people, 60% still believe that Tinubu didn't win the election.
Okay.
Now this, I'm just explaining to you how it stands. So if people don't believe he won the election, number two, believe that it was stolen, they rigged it in court, the economy is not doing well, Tinubu is giving only Yoruba people position and he's denying the North position. These are people who were with Buhari for 8 years when Buhari was doing the same. I had no problem with it. So a politician looks at all of those indices, sees himself outside the field of play, now sees a way in which he can come in galvanize people, bring in. Of course, I can tell you that he's just, like I said, like the other man said, he's just the foot soldier on the table. So they want to bring in Peter Obi, which has a large southern vote, bring in Atiku, and then bring in other people, put them into one party, see how the opposition can form one major bloc. Of course, they are looking at it that Wike's team looks like they are winning in PDP and are not relinquishing PDP anytime soon. So a politician has to think smartly. So where else can we go? NNPP, they can't fight with Kwankwaso. Kwankwaso is a lord in his own. He's like Wike. He too must contest.
Okay.
So they had to move to another party. Labour Party is not, we can't even talk about that. So
but why?
Labour Party, they wouldn't have even had a say in Labour Party. How would they choose who is the presidential candidate? Obi is already there. Half there, half
Okay,
half
give me a
later.
moment. I think all of these political parties have their candidates. Good evening, if you can hear me.
Good evening, sir.
Hello?
Good evening, I can hear you. Please go ahead. What's your name? I can hear you clearly.
Hello?
We can hear you. Can you hear me?
Good afternoon.
Good evening.
I'm calling from Ilefe, Osun State.
All right, please go ahead.
Yes, I greet my brother there with you.
You can see my Oshun cap on my head, right?
He's speaking well about Rufai. By denying that is because they have no ideology, that is why they are going about what they are going about. They are telling the whole Nigerian lies.
Okay.
They are telling us lies because they themselves, they don't even know what they are doing. By trying to gang up, form another different party. They should take a leave from abroad. Labour Party, Progressive, Republican. Why Nigerian cannot have that ideology? If you want to say that, you cannot say because your father is not good, you are not part of that family.
Okay.
If you are Yoruba, everybody knows that you are Yoruba. If you are in a PDP, people should know that you are in a PDP. You should not say because PDP lose election and then you are going to APC.
Okay.
We should forget about that. They are deceiving Nigeria.
Okay.
They are not telling us the truth. The reason why they are just gang up to steal our words. We should tell ourselves the truth of the matter.
Okay.
Thank you,
We
sir.
should not deceive Nigeria. The way they dribble us is too much.
All right. Thank you very much.
Why?
Thank you very much
Thank
for
you.
your
Thank you, sir.
contribution. Hello. Good evening. If you can hear me. Oh, okay. You were saying something before we had that caller.
Yeah, so they have observed the top. You see, every party, there are only 9 parties that will survive. 8 parties out of the 18 parties. The other parties will be deregistered because they didn't win any election, not even a ward councillor. So 9 parties will be gone. But luckily, 8 or 9 parties have at least one winner of an election. So you look at PDP, APC, Labour Party, ABGA, SDP. That is the way. And then YP has one. So in the list of parties you are sure will not be deregistered, SDP was the next option. And SDP was founded by IBB. That is why you notice a lot of visits were going to IBB, because IBC has a soft spot for SDP because SDP survived and NRC died. So it's easy to get IBB to agree to anything on the SDP platform. They have moved there. RFI has moved there. You will see more Southerners move there. You will see more Northerners move there. If it is bought as the next opposition party, it will empty PDP. It will empty Labour Party. Sorry, there's even nobody in Labour Party minus Peter Obi. I'm sorry to say. There's nobody in Labour Party.
But you can't say so. There are still members of members in Labour Party.
Yes, but 4 of their House of Reps have defected already to APC. So what I'm just saying that is the main man that gave them the victories. The only person that has won something outside of the same day with Peter Obi was Alex Oti, the governor. He has proved his own worth, and that's why he has remained. So SDP is the party where they can now be sure that it will not be deregistered. You understand that? It's a party that IBB is the father of. Number two, it has good will in the south, and has no candidates in the north. But once these top northerners back it, like what Erfa has done, I'm sure in the next 2 weeks or 1 month, they will take over the party, kick off every old hand in the party, and you see a completely new set of people. If the opposition forges together and can drop their ambition, they can give Tinubu a run. But if Peter Obi becomes deputy to Atiku, will he get the same large support from the southeast as he got the last time? These are the variables that needs to come into play. How can you support a party in which El-Rufai and Obi are together now? Will they get that same support? This is what you need to question. We have another call.
All right, we have someone here. Good evening, and it's glad to have you join us on the program. Your name and where you're calling us from?
I'm Mashimo Peter, calling from Buhari, Abuja.
All right, Peter, please
welcome,
go
sir.
ahead.
Yes, nice joining you in this conversation.
Thank you.
The major problem why El-Rufai left for SDP, if we are to analyze it very well, Mr. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has to is owing El-Rufai an apology.
Okay.
Based on what the speaker have just said, the level that El-Rufai rally ran to canvass votes and to make sure Tinubu got the ticket then was much.
Okay.
Even when everybody says it must not be Tinubu, presidency says it must not be Tinubu, but El-Rufai says it must be Tinubu. He went extra mile to go to Supreme Court to make sure it was because of Tinubu that President Muhammadu Buhari, former president, and Malami went and changed the Naira. But El-Rufai took then for a governor and he had to state, and along with himself, and went to Supreme Court.
Okay.
And the Supreme Court kind of has to go against the presidency order. Well, and that was the only saving grace for Tinubu to win the presidency. Had it been the Supreme Court did not go against the wishes of the presidency, then Tinubu would have not had opportunity to be president today.
Okay.
So I am appealing to Mr. President, if he wants a kind of a something landed in northern part of Nigeria, he shouldn't look at what others are saying, because those people can betray him within a twinkle of eye.
All right, please, you have to round up with your thoughts so enable others during the conversation.
So that is my conclusion.
All right.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much for your thoughts, and have yourself a great evening ahead. Hello, good evening. I'm glad to have you join us on the program. Your name and where you're calling us from? Very well, thank you.
Good evening, sir.
What? Please, could you tune down the volume of your TV set?
Okay.
Thank you.
I'm calling from I'm calling from.
You're calling from where?
I'm from where, sir?
From Kano.
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 All right, please go ahead.
Thanks, sir.
Yes, I know what you are talking about. From my own understanding of what is going on now, if they can come together, Peter Obi, Kanto, and Atiku, if they can exercise patience and come together, I am sure they will beat Bola Tinubu at the point.
Okay.
But if they try to do that, if anyone just come together, I am sure Tinubu will win the election. If they cannot come together and do what is better for them.
All right. Thank you.
My advice.
All right. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much.
I am sure that I will win the election.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much for your contribution. All right. All right. Have yourself a great evening. The callers just.
I don't know what I don't know which of them to respond to, but they are all largely correct. It's a you see this. What I say, this is medicine after death. They had the chance with an outgoing president for them to come together. Buhari had finished 8 years. That was the best time for them to come together. And as a matter of fact, they were all together. Let's not forget that. Atiku was in PDP. Kwankwaso was in PDP. Obi was in PDP. It was only El-Rufai that was not in PDP. Wike and his 5 governors were in PDP. So the lack of managing their internal crisis made them split into 4 different parts and made them lose the election. And now they are now united in defeat. So this is where we want to find out who, if it will be Atiku and that's why I said if it's now an Atiku and Obi ticket.
But let's look at the possibility of the coalition. Who do you think is ready to step down for who? Because when you come to PDP,
Atiku cannot step down for anybody.
When you go to PDP, Atiku wants to be the president. When you go to Labour Party, Obi wants to be the president, and nobody wants to step down. Now, when you come to SDP, where we are still going to we are going to keep our fingers crossed and see what happened, because we don't know what negotiation El-Rufai must have had with the PDP people, SDP people rather. So looking at all of this, then when you come to NNPP, he's not even ready to step down for anybody, just like you rightly stated. He's the king of his territory. Yes. So now, what's the possibility of this alliance? And we know that without this coalition or alliance, the possibility of, the possibility of unseating the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is almost impossible.
You see, you need to understand Tinubu first of all. Tinubu is blessed with a face. I hope I'm not arrested after this. Tinubu is blessed with a face that makes you think he's dull. So you think he's not smart enough to see what you are doing. Tinubu sees you long before you wake up from your bed.
Interesting.
That's why, you see, people have always wondered why there's a state that PDP has never ruled in Nigeria, which is Lagos State. That man is not easy to beat because he sees everything from afar and just keeps acting dumb for a long time till he's positioned in what he's doing. If he was not on the seat, you change currency to beat him. They started fuel crisis to beat him. They started regional talk to beat him. Is it when he's on the seat he's going to be easier to beat? It's not going to be easier. So if they don't put their acts together, and you see, Kwankwaso has said, Ganduje has said something. Yes, the North wants their turn, but Ganduje has said the North should wait their turn. I want in politics, if you understand the swing, when the swing takes place, it will come back to favor you.
Okay.
Now, if you don't understand the swing like Atiku doesn't believe there's anything called swing, because every year he will contest. He's a perennial contestant. I'm sorry to say that. These are the facts in front of us. Whether it is zoned to the north, he will contest. Whether it's not zoned to the north, he will contest. So, such a person, after a while, loses the strength. If for once I said, okay, I will support a southern candidate. Imagine if Atiku has supported Obi in the last election. And Obi didn't win. And he said, okay, it's now time, I supported you, it's now time for you and people to support me. He will have a stronger stake and say. But if you don't understand political swings and you must contest every 4 years, then you are like the child who is crying wolf. You cry wolf, cry wolf. The day you now see wolf, nobody will answer you. So that's the situation they are in now. It's not easy. Yes, the economy is not doing very well. People are not happy with the economy. So, and then people in the north separate economy. They are not even happy that the north feels like they have been pushed and betrayed and pushed to the side. So they are waiting to pay you back in your own coin, which is what the politicians are happening on. Politicians are like sharks. They just look for blood in the water. And once they see it, they dive on it. They dived on end bad governance protests. It didn't fully work, so they calm down again. Politicians are smart. People don't give Nigerian politicians credit for what they do. They are smart. They observe everything. They observe If they see that you have goodwill with the people and you are sick, every politician will come and greet you in your house. That's politicians. They just look for where to happen goodwill. So they are playing their games. We are all watching. For me, Tinubu should continue his work. He's the one on the seat. Keep delivering to Nigerians the things you promised. If you can finish your Lagos to Calabar road, you may seal one end of that. If you can finish your Sokoto to Badagry road, the people in that axis may give you support. But I can tell you what I expect from Tinubu. By 2026, fuel will hit 300 naira.
You're certain about
They
this?
are playing with a master politician.
Okay, well, Nasir El-Rufai has criticized this government style, describing it as a national emergency, and also calling for coalition. We've also seen the likes of Ali Ndume, who says that he's not criticizing President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, but rather his policies.
Very nice political statements.
And also, we've seen Rotimi Amechi, who is still a member of the APC, but yet calling for brutal force to snatch power from Tinubu come 2027. Now, bringing all these men to equation, do you think El-Rufai has gone out of line? And what is your thoughts ahead of 2027?
He has not gone out of line. See, there's nothing El-Rufai has said now that's not worse than things he has said when he was governor. There's nothing he has said now that is even close to what he has said. That time he told UN and the people monitoring elections that they may go back in body bags. What has he said now that has come close to that? El-Rufai went to a meeting with one traditional head and a Catholic priest. And going back, one was kidnapped, the other one was killed. There's nothing that's close to what we are. In short, Tinubu even still greeted him happy birthday on his birthday in the middle of this fight. That's why I really don't understand how people explain to me that politicians are genuinely fighting. They're only fighting for the seats. How can we be fighting and I'm greeting you happy birthday, and then you two come on air and say that those people that are supporting me are jealous that I greeted you on your birthday? Then how are these people fighting? It's just a fight for power, as simple as that. The Amechi himself didn't say anything during Buhari's time. Why? He was in power. And those that are not in power would be shouting. And immediately they enter power, they will keep quiet. And those who are not in power will take over the baton of shouting. I've said it, the people are gullible, which is why all of this drama is taking place. This picking baton of shouting, dropping baton of shouting, is because the people are gullible. Once the people become wise and see who is working and who is not working. For example, don't say I'm looking for trouble. Wike is doing wonderfully well. But people must still find reasons to fight or to drag. You are seeing projects, you are in Abuja, we are in Abuja, we are seeing bridges everywhere. We are seeing traffic flowing very well. We have seen a great drop in insecurity issues, though they rose at a point. But people will still find, because people are gullible, they can easily find one small reason to discountenance a person that is working because of something he said. Am I going to drive on his words? The last person who didn't work for eight years, do I even know his name? But Nigerians can be deceived to say they would prefer that person who we didn't see any work. I don't even know his name, I'm sorry to say. So these are the issues with Nigeria. The Nigerian populace need to get wiser. They need to get less divisible. Right now we are too easily divided, and the politicians are seeing that and taking advantage of that.
But then, Nigerians now believe that these people are the same, same bed with same beds of different feathers, or rather, you move from APC to PDP, same person. It's still the same person. It's just looking for a party that they will use as a cover, or for personal interest. But then, looking at how APC have performed so far, though we are still watching them, and they still have a few years to wrap up the 4 year, the first term, which is 4 years. But looking at in the last 2 years, would you, if you were to assess the performance of this government. Would you say that they deserve or they should retain power come 2027?
If I have a choice, no old politician should touch power in Nigeria again. If I had a choice. But this is, see, politics is not wishes. Do you understand? Politics is not what I wish. It's what people can understand. If once the masses understands this thing, then the masses can choose the next president. Forget all this drama. The masses can say, Adewumi, you are our next president. That's all. If the masses understand that this is who I'm not supporting him. Wait, I have to find a name off my cap. Okay, we can just say, okay, we have looked at it. Osibanjo is the next person we want. All the political parties, once they see this is where we are going, they'll start dancing around him. They'll start looking for how to draw him. But right now, we have an inverse of situation where the politicians know that we have our tribal sentiments, we have our religious sentiments, so they keep playing around us. What we need to have talked about, and I've not seen it in the media for the last 3 months, is the state of our refineries. Every day we have Natasha fight, this fight, that fight. What is the state of our refineries? This is the question. All this noise has covered the basic and most important things that needs to be fixed for the prices of fuel and dollar to come down. Our refineries, that's what I want to hear about tomorrow from President. You have a call.
All right, please, let's take this call before you continue. Good evening. I'm glad to have you join us on the program. Good evening. I can hear you. Please go ahead. What's your name and where are you calling us from?
My name is Ochi Ocho. I am calling from Benue, Makodi to be precise.
All right, Ochi Ocho from Benue. Please go ahead.
Thank you very much. In fact, I am in love with that engineer. I can't remember whether his name is Toba.
Yes, sir.
He is really saying it as it is. Yes. You see, these politicians are just capitalizing on the ignorance of Nigerians or the sentiments on the land, either religious or tribal, to keep using us. And the main problem, sir, is the corruption in our institutions.
Okay.
Why can't INEC be transparent enough and give these elections the way they should be done, as is stated in the papers? Anyway, be it as it may, what I really want to put up is, just like the last things he was trying to say, Tinubu actually, as our president, the hard decisions he took were really a very brave one. But in my own opinion, I felt he would have prepared the ground for those decisions.
Sure.
He just came in, the refineries were not working, he removed the subsidy, and now the people are suffering. They cannot understand. These were decisions that the former president that actually put us in this mess should have taken care of.
All right.
How can a president sit there with all the billions actually spent? No refinery was working, and he just gloated over it, and they just went away. And when it comes to this guy you people were talking about, El-Rufai, when I had him complain about area boys have taken over the management of Nigeria, which is true anyway. But what about when the northern guys, is it the Fulanis, took over the Buhari administration? What did we say? You see, these people are just using us.
All right.
So when it is their own turn, it is okay.
Okay.
When it is another person's turn, it's not okay. So the reason they are giving us is not true. All I will advise Tinubu is, if he can, just like engineer talked lately, if he can bring down the naira to dollar value,
Okay.
then this economy will definitely be fixed.
All right.
It is the price of dollar to naira that is still killing us. Because I see the area he's going. He's really doing well.
All right.
He can do well.
Thank you very much, and you have to wrap up your thoughts. So we
obviously he can still be there.
All right. Thank you very much for your contribution.
On the price of things to really work on him.
All right.
Thank you very much,
and have yourself a wonderful evening. Yes. So you were saying something before that.
Yes. I thank God that the people understand what we're saying. See, we are all in a joke, because as far as this setting continues, we can't change anything, because the person who comes in understands the game and settles all the people that contest against him. That's why they don't touch each other's businesses. It's like, how do I explain in Nigerian politics? Two brothers decide to contest for the same position. So if you win or I win, it stays within the family. So every year we'll be fighting, and once we contest, I settle you. The next year you win, you settle me. Two of us keep contesting. Every other person stays behind and says, we are fighting.
Right.
That is the Nigerian drama I'm trying to explain to you. That's why they marry each other. That is why their children are married to each other. Exactly. That is why Atiku is the one that handed over son to Buhari's daughter when they were marrying. These people are not fighting. They are just acting drama for us. That's how a comedian became president of Ukraine, by acting. It's annoying, and the people are dying. So the most annoying part is that in all this acting, the people are dying. And we can't bring back the people dying.
Exactly.
And they are not suffering. Their children are not suffering. All of them will complain, but all their children are schooling abroad.
But then again, there is one question that
on all sides of this
have always
fight.
asked: Can the INEC be held accountable, or can they independently do their work? Because we saw the outcome of the 2023 election. A lot of people, even up to date, still did not believe that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu won the election. A lot of Nigerians believe that the election was rigged. So, can you say, and which is one problem and challenge that we face as a nation? Can INEC do its work independently and, be sincere? Let's even forget about the politicians.
Do you want to hear the truth?
Yes, please.
The truth is, the problem is not INEC. The problem is our constitution. INEC didn't write our constitution. INEC is, and all the political actors are using loopholes in our constitution to play a game on us. Number one, INEC cannot be called to the stand in an election. The way INEC stands now, the way the law stands now in Nigeria, whatever INEC declared is correct until proven wrong in courts. So INEC, look at the Edo election. INEC was asked to come up. INEC said, we have nothing to say. How can you come up and tell us you have nothing to say? Because they are backed by the constitution, that they can come and tell you in an election that they conducted that they have nothing to say. But if you can bring them to that court and put them on oath, and you must talk. Not I have nothing to say. You conducted an election, you spent money on an election, you were put as an agent in that election. Tell us.
Explain.
See, till that part is changed, people walk away. Look at every election that has been swung or changed. The people who rigged the election INEC officers who rigged it, well, after they upturned the result, like Natasha, what punishment did we give?
Engineer, to that. Our time is up. Our time is up. I wish this conversation can continue, but
let me calm down.
Time is up. Yeah, please, Amos, thank you so much for coming. Thank you indeed for your analysis this evening. It's been wonderful. Well, this is where we draw the curtain onto this program. Until we come your way some other time, keep watching Kaftan Television, and may God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Good evening.